Hello. I'm a senior BBC Radio 2 announcer and a registered pauper. Thank you.
Hello.
Get lost. Now, for those of you who may have missed the previous installments of our romantic serial, The Night of the Big Urge...
No!
Allow me to bring you up to date with the plot.
Hello.
Get lost. Lady Daphne is still recovering from her terrifying ordeal when she had been trapped for 2 hours in a telephone box with a rampant saxophonist.
Some women have all the luck.
Do you sell chips?
No.
Hello.
Get lost. Meanwhile, disturbing news has just been received at Captain Percy Vere. Captain Percy was serving with his regiment in India, and he was up at the front. He was also up at the back, which was why he couldn't get his job press on.
Get off me, Mum!
Hello.
Get lost.
Now, that really is stupid. This programme is more stupider than ever.
Hello.
Get lost. Meanwhile, the Dowager Marchioness was still awaiting her hip replacement, which was a bit much, as she already had 3.
I might as well go home.
Meanwhile, back at the Grange, the bishop had eaten the exploding rissole.
Hello.
Get lost.
I love a banjo.
That's done it. This is an affront to my dignity as a senior BBC Radio 2 announcer, and I flatly refuse to take any further part in this utter drivel. Thank you. Now, it's time to welcome you to Jimmy's Cricket Team starring Jimmy Cricket.
I could have sworn you sold chips. Get lost.
Look, what do you lot take me for? You've been hugging the whole show and I haven't had a sniff yet. I've been standing here like a queue at a Ralph Harris concert.
Who?
Rolf Harris.
What does he do?
Well, he goes...
Why?
He's got trapped wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, come here. This afternoon I was driving along the highway and Harry Seacombe waved to me. I was driving along and admiring the scenery outside a village called Ramp, and I went over a big bump in the road. There was a sign at the side of the road that said, "Welcome to the smallest village in Great Britain. Cheerio."
This next joke's really stupid, and it's one of my favourites. Just listen to this one.
Most tourists call the village El Dorado
Tell them why they call it El Dorado.
because they turn off before they get there. And there's more. I was 2 hours trying to overtake a caravan before I realised it was mine. A policeman shouted to me, "Don't you know that it's very dangerous to drive at more than 75 miles an hour?" I said, "Get off the bonnet." Unfortunately, before I could start the next joke, the telephone rang. Hello?
Don't put the phone down on me, don't.
It's you again.
I've nobody else to turn to and I'm desperate for help. You're kind, understanding, sympathetic, compassionate, caring, benevolent, as well as being conscious of the needs of others and a bit of a wally.
You're very kind. What's your problem?
Sexual harassment.
At your place of work?
Sexual harassment.
That's not right.
You don't have to tell me you don't know the art. The quick fumble behind the fax machine, the gripping and grappling at the word processor, my floppy disks are all over the place.
I've never heard anything so outrageous in all my life.
I'm demented. I'm persecuted.
And I'm not surprised. You should complain in the strongest possible terms.
I have.
Complain officially in writing to the highest possible authority.
I have complained officially in writing to the highest possible authority about sexual harassment for all the good it's done.
Well, what do you mean?
I'm still not getting any. I'm being
Victimized?
Victimized just because I'm a woman. Hello.
And we have the result of the 3:15 at Haydock. First, Nellie the nudist. Second, ice block. Third, find the lady.
And the 1, 2, and 3 in the 2:45 at Chepstow. Lonely Spinster, Chippendale, Let Me Out.
And the 2:30 at Newmarket finished as follows. Banana Skin, Claire Rayner, Earthquake.
I thought that those sports items were really stupid.
Thank you, stupid man.
Do you want to hear a stupid joke?
I'd love to hear a stupid joke, stupid man.
What do you call an underground train full of professors?
I don't know, stupid man. What do you call an underground train full of professors?
A tube of Smarties. It's stupid, that, isn't it? It's nowhere near as stupid as this next bit. I watch this programme, What You're Going to Do Next, every time it's on the telly. But I never realised how stupid it was until now.
That you, Frank?
Pat, leave it out.
Leave it out?
Leave it out.
But I
Leave it out.
leave it out?
Yeah, leave it out.
What about your tea?
Leave it out.
Right, leave it out.
Yeah, best leave it out.
Have I ironed your shirt?
Leave it out.
I'll leave it out.
I want second thoughts.
Yeah?
Nah, leave it out.
Frank, Pat,
Leave it out, Pete.
leave it out.
Leave it out. Frank reckons it's best to leave it out.
Ah, Frank reckons it's best to leave it out.
I said leave it out, Pete.
Best leave it out, Pete.
I don't like being told to leave it out.
Look, Pete, leave it out.
I'll leave it out when I want to leave it out. Not when he tells me to leave it out.
You seen Kathy, Pete?
Leave it out.
Nobody tells my Pat to leave it out.
You was quick enough to tell me to leave it out.
Suppose we all leave it out.
Well, I'll leave it out if you'll leave it out.
All right, all right.
You will then?
What?
Leave it out.
If he's going to leave it out, then I'll leave it out.
I'll leave it out and all.
Right.
Right.
It's Arthur.
Hang about.
Hang about.
Hang about.
Leave it out for Pete's sake.
He don't have to leave it out for my sake.
We've all decided to leave it out, Arthur.
Hang about.
No, no, no. Leave it out. Leave it out.
Not hang about.
Leave it out.
If you leave it out, it's bound to hang about.
Listen very carefully, my son. Leave it out.
Why?
I'll tell you why, sunshine. That tomcat nips and it's not stopping in here because we're all going to leave it out.
Meanwhile, back at the Hunt Ball, the Colonel adjusted his wooden leg with some delight as the band had agreed to play the military one-step.
And he's back again. He's back again with his head full of Jolly Robins. Hey up.
My name's Marlowe, Philip Marlowe, Private Eye. My other eyes just slipped out for a minute. I looked out of my office window. The Salvation Army band was playing Down by an Old Warehouse. It's an unusual hymn. I'd never heard it before. A guy wearing a tuxedo drove past in a car with a droopy mustache. It's the first time I'd ever seen a car with a droopy mustache. A scruffy-looking kid came run out of the Undertaker's opposite. He was holding his ear and crying. The undertaker shouted after him, and I'll hit you again if you come in here asking for empty boxes. This was some city. I was wearing my powder blue suit with matching shirt and dark tie, a cellophane kilt, green top hat, and red and white striped clogs. I didn't want to look conspicuous. Not today, because I was on my way to meet $4 million. I turned left at 42nd, right at 29th, along 36th, down 21st, into 19th, straight into 40th. Stopped at the lights and shouted, "House." I was lost. I stopped at a little chef. He was 3'6" and frying a sausage. I finally arrived at the house. Some house. It made Buckingham Palace look like a porta cabin. A tall blonde dame opened the door with a big smile. She didn't say much. The handle was stuck in her mouth. She looked at me for a few seconds and then spoke.
Philip Marlowe?
I could have it changed.
I need help.
This dame was scared. She was as nervous as a turkey on the 24th of December. She had good reason to be scared. The guy slumped in the corner had a lot in common with Abraham Lincoln. He was dead.
I shot him, Mr. Marlowe.
Blackmail?
I was engaged to marry into one of the most respected families in the country. This guy found out that I used to be a stripper.
So did I.
How?
Get dressed.
Mr. Marlowe, get rid of that body. There's $4 million in this suitcase.
This was not the way I worked. I felt sick to my stomach. The big payoff to get her off the hook. I drove back to my office. There was a bad taste in my mouth as I took the elevator up to the 5th floor. I'd never made it up the stairs carrying a suitcase with $4 million in it.
Meanwhile,
Get off your bum.
back at the Grange, it was party time for the young debutantes. Lady Poppy had stuck a life-size photograph of a Chippendale to the wall, and they were playing a variation of Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
Arnold, lad.
No, lass.
What is it, lad? Something's up, I can tell.
No.
Arnold.
They've closed down mill.
The mill?
They've closed it down.
They couldn't have.
Couldn't have what?
The mill.
They've closed it down.
I don't know what to say.
About what?
The mill.
They've closed it down.
Oh, lad, you must be heartbroke.
About the mill.
Aye.
They've closed it down.
Oh, I'm devastated. Devastated, it's the only word for it.
Because it mill.
Aye, lad.
Aye. They've closed it down, you know.
Folk depended on mill for their living.
Not anymore. They've closed it down. I meant to tell you early on.
I'll do, Nell. How do Arnold?
It's Jason Mason.
Not Jason Mason.
Aye, him as is married to Grace Brace.
Up and I've just met Charlie Farley.
Charlie Farley?
He's engaged to Judy Moody.
Management has had a meeting.
The management?
Had a meeting.
Who'd have thought that?
Who'd have thought what?
Management.
They've had a meeting.
Who would have thought that management would have had a meeting?
They have.
A meeting?
The management.
It's not like them.
Not like who?
The management.
A meeting. They've had one.
When?
Not but an hour since.
Since what?
The management.
Had a meeting.
The management.
At the mill?
Happen.
Aye. They've closed it down, you know.
Nay. There they had a meeting. The mill opens first thing tomorrow morning.
Oh, this is wonderful news. Wonderful news.
Hey, it's right. Jumping news, is that?
Mill stays open. It stays open.
Hey, it stays open. Great.
Nell, Jason, Arnold.
It's Adley Bradley. Come in, Adley.
Gladly.
You'll have heard the good news then. We're overjoyed.
Delighted, delighted.
Best news we've had in years. Wonderful, wonderful.
I don't see what's so good about Mill being on fire.
On fire?
Have you got a bucket of water?
I say, could you tell me the best way to burn them?
Yeah, leave them on regular 5 for 3 weeks.
Really, thanks.
I'm still a senior BBC Radio 2 announcer, and I freely admit to being a pauper, who is now verging on the brink of becoming a vagrant. However, I still retain my pride, and I'm a firm believer in dignity at all times. Despite my dire circumstances, I have no room for charity. God bless you, Governor, you're a toff. I intend doing that just as soon as I've introduced this next bit. We present life's failures, those unfortunate people who tried hard but never quite made it. Here's a born loser with a lesson on how not to chat up a girl.
Hi, doll.
Nip off.
Sorry. I'll try this little beauty. She's all on her own. Hello, sweetheart.
Go away.
And what's your name?
Will you go away?
I only want to know your name.
It's Marjorie.
What a coincidence. That was my father's name. How about a dance?
How many times do you want telling?
I've been watching you and nobody's asked you for a dance all night.
I'm on the drums.
Dear Jimmy, it's a letter from me, Mammy. Dear Jimmy, your father gets worse as he gets older. Yesterday he was releasing one of his pigeons and the sleeve of his jacket caught in its claw. He rang me this morning to say that the Isle of Wight is a very nice place and he hopes to be home the day after tomorrow. He's going to have his ingrowing toenails seen to. It's pushing his wig off. Young Tommy called round this afternoon and cut the grass. You'd be amazed at the difference it makes. I can now see the telly. Your Uncle John is very upset at being thrown out of the local pub darts team. The landlord said, I paid 10 quid for that canary. Your Uncle John is thinking about getting rid of his Robin Reliant. He says every time he takes a bend, he falls off the perch. That Robin Reliant has been nothing but trouble since the day he bought it. It's had foul pest twice and the cat keeps chasing it up trees. Your Aunt Nora wants a larder. At the moment she keeps all the food on the sideboard. That's all for now. Love, Mammy. P.S. And there's more. I've just had a terrible shock. Your father has landed on the window ledge and he's packing the glass with his nose. P, double P and 2 S's. Your Uncle John almost drowned the other day. You would have thought he had more sense. He bought a waterbed and he tried to sleep inside it. Lots of love, Mammy.
How many times in my lonely life have I heard others say how wonderful love is? I've watched people in love. I've seen how they are together, so completely and sublimely happy. Arm in arm, they would be oblivious of all others. And I envy them because I thought that love, a true, a lasting love, which had eluded me all my life, would never come my way. How wrong I was, because love did come to me in a blinding and breathtaking way when you entered my life.
Thank you.
I now believe deep down, in my very heart of hearts, that our first meeting was preordained by a strange and wonderful power over which we have no control. I never intended going into the delicatessen shop on the corner of Tarryasson Street. I'm grateful, eternally grateful, that I did, because that is when I saw you for the first time. I can still recall how my heart missed a beat when I saw you behind the counter, a portrait of beauty as you scooped a dollop of coleslaw into a little plastic cup.
Thank you.
It is a day that will live with me forever, something I shall never, ever forget. The greatest artist in the world could never place on canvas the sight that I beheld that day. I was dazzled by your untouched beauty as you stood framed in front of a display of pickled gherkins.
Thank you.
My body trembled with expectation as you stood there clutching a German sausage.
Thank you.
I couldn't bring myself to leave. I wanted to be where you were. That is why I made purchase after purchase. I had no need for 4.5 pounds of curry powder and 6 pounds of dried prunes. It was you that I wanted.
Thank you.
And then came that moment, that oh so golden moment, when your hand touched mine over the tin of stoneless black cherries in thick syrup. What a joy that was.
Thank you.
One thing that I can say with every ounce of meaning in my body: I have never had to read anything so nauseating in all my career. I'm off.
Thank you.
My name is Brigadier Sir Man-Sized Tissues.
By the Lord Harry, it's old man-sized tissues.
Good Lord, it's old Sticker. Sticker stamp. Oh, my hat. I've often wondered what happened to a sticker stamp.
I was posted. By George, old man-sized tissues.
I saw your name in the honours list.
I wasn't expecting it.
I'm sure you weren't, Dame Sticker.
Old man-sized tissues. Well, well, well. How long is it now?
How long is what now?
The Zulus.
Nasty business with the Zulus. I had to face a court-martial.
A court-martial for fighting the Zulus? What happened?
I accidentally shot Michael Caine.
I say, man-size, do you recall that time at Sandhurst when the bugler sounded the last post?
Shall I ever forget it? Dogs all over the place.
Do you remember that chappie, Lieutenant Aubrey Caress?
Vividly.
What's he doing now?
18 months.
You get your commission, man-size?
Next week.
Next week?
He sold 12 pairs of knickers and 3 non-stick pans out of that catalogue. Get off.
Arnold, lad,
Nell, lass.
it's more trouble. I can tell. It's writ all over your face. What is it, lad? What is it? I've got to know.
Nell, they're back.
No, they can't be.
They're back.
You don't mean to.
Yes, the husband and wife singing duo, Daphne and Cyril Billington. Daphne, Cyril, as you can tell from the applause, we're all delighted to have you back.
Dear heart, I do assure you that the pleasure is all ours. Is that not so, Daphne, my sweet?
My dearest speaks for us both. It's a joy to be here.
Dearest Daphne.
My darling Cyril.
How nice. It's no wonder that your marriage is the envy of many other couples in this business.
Well, as professionals, we have no room for acrimony or discord.
We are both in complete harmony on and off the stage.
And I believe that the stage has been taking up quite a lot of your time recently.
Dear Daphne and I have just concluded an exhausting but exhilarating 6-month tour in a wonderful musical.
Indeed.
Which musical?
The one written by the wonderful Andrew Lloyd George.
Dear me.
Dear me.
Webber, darling. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I'll remember that, darling.
He's written so many musicals. Which one was it?
If I say, don't cry for me, Argentina?
Of course, I know the one you mean.
Rivita.
Rivita?
I'm not saying anything.
If you've got something to say, then say it.
This may come as something of a surprise to you, darling, but Rivita is a cracker.
Is it just? I'll land you a cracker if you don't stop making a show of me in public.
I'm also told that you had a rather special charity concert.
Yes, a night to remember. We had the honour of sharing the platform with that superb New Zealand opera singer.
Dame Kiri Wiri. Dame Kara Curry. Dame Cocky Walkie.
Dame Kirite Kanawaka.
You can't resist putting the clog in, can you? All right, it was Dame Kiriti Piggin Canoa. It's not the easiest name in the world to say.
Especially after 6 double gins and enough vodka to keep the Russian embassy going in receptions for a year. We also had...
Are you saying that I was chemic?
As the proverbial newt.
Now, many of our listeners...
Nip off! You talk about me, look at you, just look at you!
Stand by for liftoff.
You stand there like a clapped out, dried out compass deep and talk about me, and I'll tell you something else for nothing, you warped, wrinkled, piggin maggots!
I don't think I can take any more of this.
Well, I certainly can't. Beam me up, Scotty. Beam us all up.
It's more trouble. It's more bad news.
On the contrary, it couldn't be better news. This week's show has just finished. It's over! Jimmy's Cricket Team starred Jimmy Cricket with Bill Pertwee, Peter Goodright and Noreen Kershaw. The script was written by Eddie Braben and the show was produced at the Club Theatre, Altrincham by Mike Craig. Oh, I almost forgot.
Forgot what?
Ahoy!
Thank you.
Pretty bubbles in the air. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Pretty bubbles in the air. They fly so high, nearly reach the sky. And in my dreams they'll fade and die. Fortune's always hiding away from me. I've looked everywhere, but I just keep on blowing bubbles. I'm forgetting all my little troubles. I'm forever, ever, and ever blowing bubbles. Lots of pretty bubbles.